As of midnight, the city's homicide count stands at 499.
Gang initiation is eyed in the shooting of an innocent teen.
Memorial Day, 9 shootings, a total of 15 victims.
The Dominican gang, the NYPD has been watching and fighting for years.
Where's the love? The girl just got shot in Humboldt Park. When is it gonna stop?
You know what? I've actually been thinking about turning.
Really? Before you make any rash decisions, I have a friend you should meet. Let's go.
Who are thinking of joining a gang, what advice would you give them to not join a gang?
What advice would I give a younger man or a teenager or a kid not to join a gang would be, if you want to live a life of misery, a life of strife, go ahead and join that gang, because that's what it's going to bring you. It's going to bring you negativity. Not only negativity is going to bring to your life, but it's going to bring to everybody you love. Because you say you love people in your life, but in reality, you can't. Because you're going to have to choose that game over the people you love every time. So, if you make that choice, you're choosing to live a selfish life, a life that's going to bring you misery and your family misery. So, your choices and decisions are going to determine your future. And I'll share this with you because I never thought as a kid that I would be sitting in a prison cell thinking about what it was going to say on my tombstone. What was it going to say good father, good son? It wasn't going to say none of that because I wasn't. So I didn't think when I was a kid that I'd be sitting in this prison cell doing a life sentence, thinking about what's my destiny going to be? What's my legacy going to be? My legacy is I'm going to die in a cemetery in prison. At that point in my life, that was a reality. Thank God it changed, but at that point it was. So if that's the life you choose, it's a choice and decision that you make freely and something you have to live with for the rest of your life.
What advice would you give to either the parents or youngster that you see who's trying to get involved and you try to encourage them to not take that route? What advice would you give either a family or an individual?
Well, the family, what I would do is I would highly, I did it with my son. My son, he started getting involved with stuff he shouldn't have been. And so what I told my wife, I was incarcerated at the time, I told her, we need to put him in every sport, outlet, and make sure you're there for every game. As a single parent, it wasn't easy for her, but she did it. And she was able to put him in football, wrestling, choir, and these outlets sort of helped him out. And not only that, but we had to move from a gang-infested area to a neighborhood that wasn't so gang-infested. So be actively participating. Now, what the consequences for me were, I lost everything. I lost the potential in life. I spent my 20s, 30s, I got out when I was 40 years old. So that potential was squandered because now I understand the intelligence that I do possess. However, now it's late in life, and sure, I'm pursuing stuff, and I got a good job, I got good education, but I lost this potential. Right? I work with people that are, they're good people, don't get me wrong, but I know I'm smarter than them. And I know I can excel more than them. I'm not trying to sound like too self-centered, but one of the things is if you know you're smart, you're smart. but I just realized the potential and the how it was squandered. Now, not only that, but so much things that I lost out on. I lost out on all my cousins' lives, watching people grow. I watched people pass away. I've lost people while I was in prison. And these are because of my personal choices.
Like dealing with like the violence that you had to like deal with. Does that ever like haunt you, or was there a way like were you giving resources in prison or afterwards?
One thing that yes, it's a really good question. One thing I learned about, because I became so callous in that lifestyle that I had to develop how to understand emotion and feeling, and how I connected with the victimization that I inflicted on people was through empathy. Through empathy is placing yourself in somebody's shoes, understanding exactly what they had to go through. Of course, you're not gonna be able to understand 100% because you didn't experience that. But by the stuff you faced in your life, you can connect the dots somehow, some way. I know I could, because I was victimized at a couple different points in my life. But the only thing is that empathy develops compassion, and then that compassion you've developed develops remorse, and that remorse, that's that deep sense of regret, and that regret and that remorse that develops makes me get involved in my community, makes me come out to groups, makes me get involved with going into prison or just talking to somebody at a store, or maybe even doing an interview.
Making amends.
Making amends. That's exactly what it is, that living amends.
That you like grew up around, you were influenced by, your environment, right? Would you say you felt like you kind of had no choice? Did you feel like that was a path that you were destined to be on, kind of? Yeah,
I don't want to say that, because the other reason I wouldn't say that, my options were limited, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll say limited because I have friends that made other choices. Mm-hmm. Now, with this environment that it provided, with all the circumstances surrounding my life, the trauma that I was inflicted upon me as a child, I was kidnapped, I was abused, heavily abused, I was abandoned. It all took a factor into who I became as a young child coming into being a teenager. So I don't want to say the whole environment, because you know what, some kids that come from that environment can make a better choice, and they do. And there's a lot of people that come from that environment that made better decisions than I did, and I commend them for it, because they didn't have to live the way I did.
Do you think that they're, like, in your opinion, what would you think would be the best kind of intervention, I guess? Maybe what would be something that would really impact people to not go down that route, that kind of like connected with what Manny was saying earlier too?
I mean, other than life experience, because by the time if you get that life experience, it's already too late. Mm-hmm. And I would wish that on nobody. But
do you feel like there should be more programs out there for like after school programs out there for younger kids to join to get themselves out of that environment, so to speak?
Well, that's exactly what I was sharing about my son being involved with, resources, whether it's sports and stuff of that nature. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, getting involved with programs that are maybe even changing your community. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some kind of reward to it, because if a kid feels like he's needed mm-hmm. or she's needed, mm-hmm. then it's an outlet for them. So, them getting involved with whatever what they like, something that holds their attention. Mm-hmm. Man, that's awesome.
Tell me, how does it feel now since you stepped away from the game?
All I need is 15
minutes. My life is a lot better. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by a lot better is I don't have to deal with the negativity, there's the anxiety. Let's say, I'm I'm a gang member, I'm on the street, I have a gun, I'm selling drugs, and I'm dealing with anxiety because, you know, I'm waiting for the next man to come kill me. I'm always on guard because, you know, rival gang members, police officers, and you're dealing with a world of turmoil there that creates just a negative vibe all around. Now that I'm free of this, you know, my stress contains of paying my bills. You know, making sure there's food in the refrigerator, making sure I grocery shopped, or, you know, making sure I gotta make, you know, we got a birthday party to go to, I gotta make sure my nephew got the nice little kicks that I wanna buy him, or something like that. Small things in life, those are welcome to me, you know. Paying my bills and being responsible is something that I enjoy doing. But that's the extent of my stress.
You know what? On second thought, I don't want to thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. And I decided to go back to school.
That's exciting. You're gonna do great.
Manny, good
Awesome.
job.
Thank you.